Hey there, everybody. I'm Mike DiLisio.
And I'm Chris Yee.
And we are here at Dice Tower East 2025 next to, appropriately, the All Play booth, because we're here to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming Sail Legacy game.
This is something that we've gotten a chance to play a pre-production copy of that had about maybe 25% of the total legacy content. Or so we're told.
That's correct, yes. So what we want to do today is give you a very no-spoiler, high-level, just first impressions of how we've played it, because even within that 25% or so of the content, I certainly did not open every potential envelope or box or whatever else may be in there.
I didn't read every journal entry, didn't get to see every path, and so coming from someone who has, let's see, I guess we can talking about for people maybe who have played a lot of Sail, and for people who haven't played Sail, you know, what to expect, because we don't want to dive into any specifics.
No, and if you've never played Sail, the thing to know is that it's a cooperative trick-taking game, right? And so this continues with that and adds a whole lot more. So it keeps some of the mechanics that you may be familiar with if you've played Sail, or if you've not, for any maybe cooperative games you've played, or trick-taking games, or even cooperative trick-taking games, because others do exist. It kind of keeps that same kind of feel. But Legacy changes things quite a bit.
It does. And so there's always that question of like, well, why take a fairly small box game that has a nice mission, sail your ship. What are you going to do in a Legacy game? And I think that if you've never played Sail before, you know, where it starts off is going to be kind of that introductory course. But it's not necessarily an easy Legacy game. And I think appropriately, the basic game, the original game, is also not that easy. It's one that you are expected to kind of work at and figure out the nuance of how to play off of each other, because it's one of those limited communication games. The cards do the speaking for you.
Yes.
And that's certainly true in the original as well as in the Legacy.
Yeah, so two-player limited communication cooperative trick-taking game is the central core mechanisms, but marrying that to a Legacy system which incorporates a fair amount of story elements as well, and potential branching paths that you may come across. And so it's fair to say that just based off of the bit that you and I played, which was tens of hours of gameplay for me, right? It may not be for everybody, but there's a significant amount just in the amount that we played.
Right.
This is a game that's going to have a massive amount of content. And I believe, based on what we've heard, is that this is going to be a bigger production than you maybe have seen from All Play before, as far as just the physical size to carry, to be able to hold all of the content that's going to be in there. And so,
right. Well, I mean, just if what we've seen is 25% of the story, and also it kind of feels like there's more branching possible paths, more journal entries that you're starting to not read as you play through scenario 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Right.
And it's just going to continue to kind of open up like that. Yeah, there's going to be a lot there, a lot of story to read. We should mention Julie Ahern as the writer, I guess is the right to author.
Did the story elements,
Yeah, Taylor Reiner, the designer of this. These are two people that I definitely trust based on their pedigree of having worked on these things, having gone through it. You know, it's good to feel like, okay, I'm intrigued to see what's around the corner. What is going to be the next mechanical twist, as well as what's the next story beat that we're about to see.
Right. So on a high level, some of the things that I definitely appreciated is that there were some points in the game where I was making what felt like were kind of fun, even a little bit silly, what I thought were inconsequential choices. And then it turned out later on that maybe there was a little more consequence to those choices than I thought. And it wasn't in a gotcha way at all. It was completely opposite. It was in like oh, that's so interesting. That's so cool that something that I thought wasn't going to really have any real consequence on the story can. So I did like that quite a bit. I do like the fact that in the original game, the components were quite limited, so you were really kind of limited on the map space. Whereas here, without getting into any specific details, there's a lot more flexibility that you can have with the types of scenarios that you're doing, the types of things you're trying to accomplish within that cooperative trick-taking system.
And how it is that you can accomplish those things, because there's definitely going to be more room to have more rules and more little systems that come in. And then sometimes entire side systems, without spoiling too much.
Yes.
It's pretty fun when you see one of those big envelopes and you go, what's in there?
Right.
When you finally get the chance, hey, crack that one open.
Yeah.
And it does all the things that a legacy game should do, I think. And there's definitely been a bit of a slowdown of legacy games because they're work. They're a lot of investment, and you can tell from those little reveals and from those exciting moments, whether little inconsequential feeling story decisions to larger intentional decisions.
Yeah.
You can tell that this really is made to be a legacy experience, not just, hey, here's a small card game that changed a few things. No, this is a large journey.
And if you have that thought, I've played Sail before, even I really enjoyed Sail, but how are you going to take that and add enough twist to a trick-taking game that it's going to really feel different? Let me just tell you, there were some huge surprises for me just in that first 25% where I was like, I did not see this coming, and I'm here for it. Again, I've got to be, very much on high level here, but there are some very interesting twists to the formula that I saw within that first 25% or so that I can't wait to see what's in the remaining, because already I feel like there were some pretty significant wrenches that were thrown in there, and it makes me hopeful for what's to come, because it seems like there's a whole lot more to come. So
and also some things that are teased kind of early out.
Yes, that's true.
You unlock this little, we'll call it a chart, maybe.
Sure.
Right, and you say, does this mean what I think it means? And once you eventually, and it'll take its time, and once you do see, it does mean that. Indeed. I was like, yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
So, those are the kind of moments that I think make a legacy, like really elevate a legacy game.
Yeah, so I guess I would say that if you have never played Sail before, but it's something that sounded appealing to you, what Sail Legacy will do is it can be very much a starting off point. You do not need to have played Sail to play and enjoy Sail Legacy, because it's going to introduce incrementally what the core Sail system is.
Yes.
Right? So you can start with Sail Legacy if you like. If you have played Sail Legacy, or if you have played Sail before, this is not going to feel like the first 25% is learning how to play Sail. No.
Yeah.
No. It's going to, it is going to, do incremental, but there's more going on at the same time. You have those story elements starting from the beginning. You have choices you're making starting from the beginning, while they're kind of ramping up some of those familiar mechanics that you had from before, but with twists.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, if you've not played the original Sail before, this is going to be, it's going to feel like a lot to take in, right? You can always demo Sail. I think that honestly, if you have like a game or two of it under your belt, and you start to feel like, I understand the movement and the combination of card actions and stuff, that's pretty much the primer that you need to start your first mission of Sail Legacy. And I can't speak to, because I have played a good amount of Sail.
Yes.
I really like the original game.
Sure, me too.
But you could still jump into this, just knowing, okay, there's going to be a decent trickle of information pretty early on, but what that means is it's not going to be what you said, an incredibly slow introduction to the system. It's gonna throw some twists at you within a number of games that I shall not number.
Sure.
But it's less than 3.
One other thing I just wanted to mention really quick is that oftentimes with legacy games, you get this idea of, okay, well, yeah, that was great, but now I'm done with it. Again, keeping things very high level, it looks like there's going to be some interesting ways to be able to continue to play the game after you have completed the campaign. I don't feel comfortable saying anything more than that, but just within that first quarter of the game we played, I already have some ideas on how that might happen.
Right, and it's fun to just kind of have that big flip book of the missions and go, I could play that one again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, very much so. So, again, we had to keep things on a very high level, but I think just kind of my, big level of playing through the first 25% is that it has enough of Sail that I feel like it continues with that kind of the stuff I already love from Sail is here.
Yeah.
And it added so many other elements that I wasn't sure how they were going to work. The story elements, I feel like there's a really good amount of narrative there for you that you can really get caught up in that, but it's not going to be overwhelming where you're spending more time on the story than you are in playing the game. So I feel like there's a really good level there, a ratio of story to gameplay. And so that I've really enjoyed. The twists that we've been teasing and cannot talk to you about, I'm super excited about, because I have a feeling that I'm going to continue to be surprised when I get the completed game. And so, you know, if this was a many-hour teaser, it worked very well for me, because I can't wait to play through the rest of it.
I agree. I guess we played on a pre-production copy, and there'll be changes and everything.
Absolutely.
But by the time that this is in full production, I'm going to be happy to play through the opening arc again, and then see what the big wide sea has for me to have.
That's right, and my memory is so terrible that it'll be like playing it all over again for the first time. So.
Life hacks.
There you go. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. I'm Mike DiLisio.
And I'm Chris Yee.
And look, you've got a beautiful journey ahead of you. Sail Legacy.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.